My mom refused to attend my wedding for the ridiculous reason that my sister already got married this year. I genuinely thought she was messing with me when she first said it. Like this had to be some weird joke I wasn't getting. But when I called her 3 weeks before my wedding to confirm the rehearsal dinner head count, she went completely silent on the other end. Then she cleared her throat and said, "Sweetheart, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I just don't think I can emotionally handle 2 weddings in 1 year." I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. "Mom, you're kidding, right?" She wasn't. My sister Natalie got married back in March, and let me tell you, it was the event of the century, according to my mother. Destination wedding in Cabo, 200 guests, open bar, live mariachi band, the whole 9 yards. My mom was in her absolute element. She posted about it every single day for a month straight, changed her Facebook profile picture to her and Natalie at the reception, showed the wedding video to literally anyone who would watch. Now it's October, 7 full months later, and apparently Mom's emotional bandwidth is completely tapped out. I tried to stay calm. "Mom, it's been over half a year. These are 2 completely separate events." She cut me off. "Your sister is still processing what was the most important year of her life. I don't want to split my focus and take away from her special memories. It wouldn't be fair to her." My fiancé Mark was sitting next to me when this happened. He looked at me with this expression like he'd just witnessed something from another dimension. He mouthed, "Is she actually serious right now?" I put her on speaker. "So, you're telling me you're not coming to my wedding because Natalie might feel bad?" "It's not that I don't want to be there, honey. I'm just worried about making everything about weddings this year. Your sister deserves to have her moment without any competition." Competition? She actually used that word. Mark grabbed the phone. "Charlotte, with all due respect, we're not competing with anyone. We're just trying to get married." Mom got defensive. "Well, I've made my decision. I hope you two understand that this is what's best for the family." Then she hung up. I sat there completely stunned. My dad passed away 4 years ago, so it's just been me, Mom, and Natalie. And she was really about to miss my wedding over this absolutely insane reasoning. I called my sister that night. "Did you tell Mom not to come to my wedding?" Natalie sounded confused. "What? No. Why would I do that? She says she doesn't want to overshadow your special year." There was a long pause. Then Natalie said, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Tell her I said to get over herself and show up," but Mom wouldn't budge. Over the next 2 weeks, I called her 4 more times. Each time, she had a new excuse. I finally stopped trying. So, the wedding day came. Mark and I got married in my dad's hometown at the same venue where my parents had their reception. My aunt walked me down the aisle. Natalie was my maid of honor, and she kept whispering, "I'm so sorry she's not here." The ceremony was beautiful. The reception was even better. And when it came time for speeches, I grabbed the microphone for my thank yous. I thanked Mark's parents for flying in from Seattle and treating me like their own daughter. I thanked my bridesmaids for dealing with my stress crying during dress fittings. I thanked our wedding coordinator for making everything perfect. Then I paused. And I want to give a very special acknowledgement to my mother, Charlotte, who couldn't be here today because apparently in her world, you can only love one daughter per calendar year. So Mom, wherever you are, I hope Natalie's marriage is everything you dreamed it would be. The entire room went silent. You could hear people's forks stop mid-bite. Then my Aunt Carol, my dad's sister, stood up and looked directly at Natalie. "Tell her what Mom made you promise last night," she said quietly. Natalie looked at me with devastation. "Mom said she only has enough energy to be a good mother to one of us at a time," she whispered. "She made me promise that if she skipped your wedding, I'd never let her be as close to you as she is to me." The room went silent. "She told me she's terrified that if she loves us equally, we'll both end up hating her for not loving us enough." Natalie's voice broke completely. "She said choosing me over you would hurt less than failing both of us, and she made me shake on it." Natalie suddenly stood up and ran toward the bathroom. I started to follow her, but Carol grabbed my arm and pointed to the window where my mother's car was pulling into the parking lot with Natalie's luggage strapped to the roof, and I realized Mom was here to pick her up and take her on the honeymoon she'd planned for just the 2 of them. I didn't even think. I just moved. Mark called after me, but I was already out the door, my dress catching on the doorframe as I stumbled into the parking lot. Half the reception followed me out, phones already up, recording. I could hear my cousin Jake saying, "Holy shit, is this actually happening right now?" Mom was getting out of her car when I reached her. She had on sunglasses even though it was almost dark. Natalie was standing by the passenger door, frozen like a deer in headlights. "What are you doing?" I said. My voice came out shakier than I wanted. Mom didn't even look surprised to see me. She reached into her purse, totally calm, and pulled out a folded piece of paper. "I think you should have this." I took it. It was a printed receipt, a Venmo payment, $12,000, sent that morning at 9:47 a.m. to Natalie. The note said, "Wedding day bonus." My hands went numb. I looked up at my sister. "What is this?" Natalie wouldn't meet my eyes. She was staring at the ground like she wanted it to swallow her whole. "I pay for loyalty," Mom said, her voice flat and matter-of-fact. "You never understood that. You paid her?" My hands were shaking so hard the paper rattled. "You paid her to what exactly? To stand next to me while you humiliated me?" "To be mine," Mom said simply, like it was the most normal thing in the world. She walked around to the driver's side. "Natalie, get in the car," and my sister did. She got in the car. She wouldn't look at me. She just slid into the passenger seat and closed the door, and I swear I saw her hands shaking as she reached for the seatbelt. Mom started the engine. Mark caught up to me and grabbed my shoulders, physically holding me back as I tried to move toward the car. I watched them drive away, Natalie's suitcase shifting on the roof rack as they turned onto the main road. Someone behind me said, "Did anyone else see that Venmo receipt? 12 grand? I didn't sleep that night. Mark kept trying to talk to me, but I couldn't form words. I just kept staring at that receipt, trying to understand what it meant about my entire life. Every holiday Natalie had missed, every birthday dinner she'd canceled last minute, every time she'd chosen mom over me for plans. Had she been paid for all of it? The next morning, I drove to my childhood home. I didn't tell Mark where I was going. I just got in the car and drove, my brain on autopilot. Mom's car wasn't there, neither was Natalie's. The house key was still under the ceramic frog by the back door, exactly where it had been since I was 7 years old. I let myself in. The living room looked normal. Same couch, same coffee table with the water ring from where Dad used to set his beer. The photos on the mantle were all of Natalie, her graduation, her wedding, her and Mom on various trips. I wasn't in a single one. When I walked upstairs and opened the door to my old bedroom, I actually stopped breathing for a second. It was gone. All of it. My room had been converted into a massive walk-in closet. Mom's clothes hung on every wall, organized by color, shoes lined up in perfect rows. The walls I'd painted lavender in high school were now a stark white. My desk, my bookshelf, my bed, the posters I'd left up, the photos tacked to the bulletin board, erased, like I'd never existed here at all. There was a full-length mirror where my bed used to be. I stood in the doorway staring at my reflection, trying to remember what this room had looked like before. But honestly, it was getting hard to picture. I went back downstairs and out to the garage. There were boxes stacked against the far wall, all labeled in Mom's neat handwriting. Donation, Goodwill, trash. I opened the first one. My yearbooks, my diploma, the ceramic bowl I made in art class that Dad said looked like a drunken turtle but kept on his desk anyway, the stuffed dog I'd slept with until I was 12, my baby book, photos of me and Dad at my first soccer game. I went through box after box, my entire childhood, sorted for disposal, like I was already dead. At the bottom of the last box, underneath a tangle of old scarves and a jewelry box I'd gotten for my 10th birthday, I found a spiral notebook. Plain black cover. The only marking was a label on the front in Mom's type print. Payment log, N. I sat down right there on the concrete floor and opened it. The first entry was dated 4 years ago, 2 months after Dad died. September 2021, $3,000. Monthly support, then another, and another. $3,000 every single month, like clockwork. But it wasn't just the monthly payments. There were bonuses, itemized bonuses, listed out like a business ledger. October 2021, $1,000, skipped sister's birthday dinner. I remembered that birthday. Natalie had texted me an hour before we were supposed to meet, saying she had food poisoning. I'd eaten dinner alone at the restaurant, embarrassed, while the waiter kept asking if I was still waiting for someone. December 2021, won $500. Christmas without her. That Christmas, Natalie said she and her boyfriend were going to his parents' house. Mom decided to visit her sister in Florida instead. I spent Christmas alone in my apartment eating Chinese takeout. March 2022, $800, didn't invite to engagement party. July 2022, $2,000, canceled sister's graduation lunch. November 2022, $2,500, Thanksgiving trip to Mom's, excluded sister. April 2023, $2,200, skipped sister's promotion dinner. Page after page after page, 4 years of transactions. Every moment I'd felt excluded. Every holiday I'd spent alone wondering what I'd done wrong. It was all here, documented, priced. I started adding it up in my head but lost count around 50,000. I pulled out my phone and started using the calculator, going line by line. The wedding payment was listed near the end. October 2025, $12,000, public loyalty demonstration. And next to it in different handwriting, Natalie's handwriting, I recognized it immediately, were notes. Little scribbles in the margins. Can we make this $2K instead? And next to a Christmas entry. What if I do Easter too? My sister wasn't just accepting payments, she was negotiating them, suggesting new opportunities, upselling her own betrayals. I kept scrolling through the calculator. The numbers climbed. 70,000, 100,000, 150, 170, 200. The total came to $214,000. Over 4 years, my mother had paid my sister $214,000 to exclude me from our family. I sat there on the garage floor, surrounded by boxes of my erased childhood, holding proof that I'd been systematically removed from my own life, and my sister had been cashing checks the whole time. I took photos of every page, 47 pages total. Then I sat there for another 20 minutes, just staring at the notebook, at Natalie's handwriting next to Mom's, at the way the amounts increased over time, at how the bonuses got more specific, more calculated, more cruel. There was an entry from my birthday last year, June 2024, $1 to $800, birthday skip. Natalie had told me she had to work. I'd believed her. I texted Natalie the photos, all of them. No message, just the images, one after another after another. I watched the delivery receipts turn to read receipts, watched the typing indicator appear and disappear, appear and disappear. She called within 3 minutes. Where did you get those? Her voice was high and tight, panicked. Mom's garage, in a box labeled for donation, right next to my childhood. It's not what it looks like. I actually laughed. It came out harsh and ugly. It's a literal payment log, Natalie, with your handwriting in it, with negotiation notes. What part am I misunderstanding? She was crying. I could hear it, that specific hiccup breath she did when she cried hard. It started as help with rent. After Dad died, I was struggling, and Mom offered to help, and I didn't think. For 4 years? You didn't think for 4 years? It became automatic. She'd just send it and I'd accept it, and I stopped questioning it. I know that sounds insane, but it's the truth. What about the notes? I said. My voice was cold now. The ones where you're asking for more money? Where you're suggesting new ways to exclude me? Where you're literally negotiating higher prices for skipping my birthday? Silence. Natalie, answer me. That was later, she whispered. After the first year, I guess I saw how it worked and I thought, you thought you could cash in? No, I mean not like that. Not so deliberately. Then how? Explain to me how suggesting Mom pay you extra to skip my birthday is anything other than exactly like that. She was full on sobbing now. I don't know. It just became normal, you know? Like, she'd ask if I wanted to do something with you and I'd make an excuse and she'd send money and it just became the way things were. Like a routine. The wedding boycott, I said. My voice sounded far away, even to myself. That was your idea, wasn't it? She didn't answer. Wasn't it? She brought it up first, Natalie said quickly, defensively. She said she didn't want to come and I said it would be weird if she didn't come and you'd ask questions, and she said, what if there was a reason, like a good reason? And I said, you said you'd be the reason. She offered me the money, the $12,000, plus the Italy trip. I didn't ask for it, she offered. But you took it. Yes. Her voice broke completely. I took it, and I stood next to you at that altar knowing exactly what was about to happen and how much I'd get paid for it. I listened to you thank everyone, and I knew what was coming, and I didn't warn you. I hung up. Mark found me still sitting on the garage floor an hour later. He tracked my location when I didn't answer his texts. He didn't ask questions, just helped me up and drove me home. I clutched the notebook the whole way. That night, I lay in bed trying to make sense of it, trying to find the moment where my sister stopped being my sister and became my mother's employee. But there was no single moment. It was 4 years of small choices, each one paid for, each one building into this. Into me, alone, wondering what I'd done wrong to deserve being erased. The next morning, I called Natalie. I want to meet, in person, and I want the whole truth this time. We met at a coffee shop halfway between our apartments. Neutral territory. She looked terrible. No makeup, hair in a messy bun, wearing sweatpants and the same jacket I'd seen her in at the wedding. She ordered a coffee she didn't drink, just wrapped her hands around it like she needed something to hold on to. Why did you need the money? I said. No preamble, no small talk. I didn't. Then why take it? She looked down at her cup, picked at the cardboard sleeve. At first I did. I really did need it. My hours got cut at work right after Dad died and rent was due and Mom offered to help, and it felt normal, you know? Like what a parent does. But then she started adding the bonuses, and I should have stopped it then, but I kept taking them. Why? Because it felt good. She looked up at me, her eyes red. It felt good to be the chosen one for once, to be the one she wanted. Growing up, you were Dad's favorite. Everyone knew it. And then he died, and suddenly I had a chance to be Mom's favorite, and I took it. And then it stopped being about that and started being about the money itself. Where is it now? She blinked. What? $214,000, Natalie. Where is it? I have an account, separate from the one I share with my husband. He doesn't know about it. How much is in it? She picked at her coffee cup sleeve, tearing it into tiny pieces. Some of it's still there. How much? I don't know exactly. Maybe 80, 90? I stared at her. You spent over $100,000? Over 4 years, yeah. It's not like I blew it all at once or anything. What did you spend it on? She shrugged, still not meeting my eyes. Stuff? Normal stuff. My wedding cost $40,000 and Mom only officially paid for half, so I used some for that. The honeymoon was another $15,000. We put a down payment on new furniture for the living room. That sectional you saw, that was $8,000. Took that trip to Hawaii last year, that was like $6,000. Got a new car, paid off my student loans. Just normal things. Normal things, I repeated. Funded by selling out your sister. Don't say it like that. How should I say it? She started crying again. I'm sorry. I know it's not enough, but I am so sorry. I can pay it back. The $80,000 that's left, I can give it all to you right now if that would help. Would that help? I felt exhausted suddenly, bone deep tired. You think money fixes this? I don't know what fixes this. Tell me what fixes this and I'll do it. I don't think anything does, I said. You can't buy back 4 years of my life, Natalie. You can't refund the birthday dinners you skipped, or the holidays you bailed on, or standing next to me at my wedding knowing you'd been paid to help ruin it. You can't return my relationship with Mom because you sold it for $200,000. I didn't know she was going to do that. The parking lot thing, the luggage on the roof. I thought she was just not going to show up. I didn't know she'd make it so public. But you knew she wasn't coming. Yes. And you knew why. Yes. And you knew what you were being paid for. Yes. It came out as barely a whisper. I stood up. I need to go. She grabbed my wrist across the table. Wait, please. Can I ask you something? I didn't sit back down, but I didn't pull away either. Is Mom still paying you? She let go of my wrist like it had burned her. What? Simple question, Natalie. Is she still paying you? No, of course not. Not after everything that happened. I looked at her face, really looked at it, at the way her eyes shifted left when she said it, at how her hand moved to her phone on the table, protective, at the slight hitch in her voice. You're lying. I'm not. Prove it. Show me your Venmo. That's private. Natalie, show me your phone. She picked it up, clutching it to her chest like a shield. I don't have to show you anything. Fine, then I'm leaving. I grabbed my purse. Wait. She put the phone down but kept her hand over it. Okay, yes. She sent something last week, but it's the last time. I told her it was the last time. How much? $3,000. the regular monthly amount. But I'm giving it back. I just haven't figured out how to do it without her asking questions. You already accepted it, didn't you? She didn't answer. I reached across the table and took her phone before she could stop me. She let out a little gasp, but didn't fight me. I opened Venmo. Didn't even have to scroll. $3,000 from Charlotte Mitchell. Received 3 days ago. The note said, monthly, December. There was also a message thread. I opened it. Natalie, do you really think this is a good idea right now? Mom, she'll get over it. She always does. Natalie, but what if she doesn't this time? Mom, then you'll still have your monthly. Focus on what matters. Natalie, okay. I put the phone down carefully on the table like it might explode if I moved too fast. You're still taking her money. After everything. After I found the notebook. After the wedding. You're still cashing her checks. I was going to stop. I was literally about to send it back. You already accepted it 3 days ago. That's not about to send it back. I didn't know what else to do. You could have said no. You could have declined the payment. You could have blocked her. You could have done literally anything except take more money from the woman who paid you to destroy my life. It's not that simple. It really is, Natalie. It's incredibly simple. Someone sends you money to hurt your sister, you say no. That's it. That's the whole thing. She grabbed my hand across the table, both of hers wrapped around mine. Please, let me fix this. Let me prove I can do better. I'll call her right now and tell her to stop. Right now. You can watch me do it. Okay, I said. Do it. She picked up her phone with shaking hands, dialed, held it to her ear. It rang 4 times. Then she lowered it and hung up before anyone answered. She didn't pick up, she said. You didn't let it go to voicemail. She won't answer. She's probably still in Italy with the time difference and everything. Then leave a message. That's not how you have this kind of conversation. I need to actually talk to her. Fine. Text her then. She opened messages, started typing. Her thumbs moved slowly, hesitantly, stopped. What should I say? Tell her the payments stopped today. Tell her you're not doing this anymore. Tell her you're choosing your sister over her money. She stared at the screen. Her thumbs hovered over the keyboard. I watched her type Mom, I, and then delete it. Type I can't and delete that too. Type we need to and delete that. Then she locked the phone and set it down. I can't. What do you mean you can't? I've planned my budget around the money. I have bills set up, payments scheduled. Our mortgage payment comes out of that account. If I suddenly stop getting $3,000 a month, my husband will notice the account balance dropping. He'll ask questions. I'll have to explain where it was coming from all this time. So explain it. I can't tell him this. He'll leave me. He'll think I'm insane. Then you have a choice to make right now. She looked at me with panic in her eyes. Real panic. Don't make me choose right now. Give me time to figure out how to transition away from it, how to adjust my budget, how to explain things. Just give me a few months. A few months to what? To keep taking money for excluding me? To keep cashing mom's checks while pretending you're sorry? It's not like that. It's exactly like that. You're choosing, I said. Right here, right in front of me. I'm watching you choose. She picked up her phone again, unlocked it, stared at it for a long moment. I could see her reflection in the black screen, her face twisted up. Then she put it back in her purse. I need to think about this, she said quietly. I need to talk to a financial advisor or something. Figure out how to restructure everything. I stood up. You just did think about it. You just chose again. Wait, but I was already walking away. I heard her calling after me, her voice breaking, but I didn't stop. I got in my car and sat there for a minute, watching her through the coffee shop window. She was crying into her hands, her shoulders shaking. I drove home, and when I got there, I blocked both of their numbers, blocked them on social media, blocked their emails. I told Mark we needed to move to Seattle immediately, like we'd been planning. Not in a few months. Now. He didn't ask questions, just started packing. We spent the next 2 weeks getting ready, selling furniture we didn't want to move, canceling utilities, packing boxes. Mark's parents were thrilled we were moving closer. They offered to let us stay with them while we apartment hunted. On the day before we left, I was loading boxes into the U-Haul when my phone buzzed. A notification from Facebook. Aunt Carol had tagged me in something. I opened it. It was a post from Mom, posted 6 hours earlier. A photo of her and Natalie on a cruise ship deck, both holding tropical drinks with little umbrellas, both wearing matching sun hats and sunglasses, both smiling wide. The ocean sparkled behind them. They looked happy. They looked like the perfect mother-daughter duo. The caption said, "Mother-daughter cruise with my best girl. So blessed to have a daughter who stayed. Some people can't appreciate family, but we know what matters. Quality time. #mother-daughter love. #blessed. #my baby girl. #cruise life." The comments were already filled with people from the wedding, people who'd been there, who'd seen everything. "What about your other daughter?" someone wrote. "Wasn't she just at a wedding? Where is she? This is weird, Charlotte. Are you seriously on vacation with one daughter after skipping the other one's wedding?" Mom had responded to each one with the same copy-pasted line. "Some people can't handle not being the center of attention." To one person who asked directly about me, she'd written, "I have one daughter who understands family loyalty. The other one is still learning." There were over 100 comments now. People arguing, people defending Mom, people calling her out. Someone had shared the whole story of what happened at the wedding. Someone else had posted a video of the parking lot confrontation. And through it all, Mom just kept commenting the same thing. Some people can't handle not being the center of attention. I showed Mark. He stared at it for a long moment, his jaw tight, then said, "Are you okay?" "Yeah," I said, and weirdly, I was. The numbness had settled into something clearer, something almost like relief, like watching a toxic thing float away from you. She's going to keep doing this, you know. Mark said. To Natalie. Your mom's going to keep paying her and manipulating her, and it's going to destroy her eventually. I know. And you're okay with that? I thought about it. She made her choice. Over and over, even when I gave her a chance to stop. We finished packing, left for Seattle the next morning at 5 a.m. before the sun was up. I didn't look back at the city as we drove away. Mark held my hand over the center console. His parents' house was warm and bright and full of people who were actually happy to see me. His mom had made up the guest room. His dad had already compiled a list of apartments in our price range. His sister came over for dinner that first night and brought wine and acted like I'd always been part of the family. It felt strange, being welcomed without conditions, without price tags. For 3 months, I didn't hear from either mom or Natalie. I got a new job at a tech company doing project management. Mark and I found a 2-bedroom apartment with a view of the water. I started seeing a therapist every Wednesday. Dr. Kim was patient and kind, and never told me I should forgive them. Slowly, things started feeling normal again. I made friends at work, started running in the mornings, took a pottery class with Mark on weekends, went to his family's house for Sunday dinners. The therapist helped me understand that I'd been grieving for 4 years without realizing it, grieving the loss of my family while they were still alive, while they were actively choosing to exclude me. She said it was complicated grief because I'd been blaming myself the whole time, trying to figure out what I'd done wrong. You didn't do anything wrong, she said. You existed, and for your mother, that was enough of a threat. Then, exactly 3 months and 4 days after we moved, the email came. I was at work when I saw it. Subject line, I'm so sorry. From natalie.mitchell89@gmail.com. I sat there staring at it for a full minute before opening it. It was long, really long. I know you blocked me, and I understand why, it started. I don't expect you to forgive me or even respond to this, but I need you to know that I'm in therapy now. Real therapy, not just saying I'll go. 3 times a week. I'm trying to understand why I did what I did, why I kept taking the money, why I couldn't stop even when I wanted to. My therapist says Mom spent years telling me you were Dad's favorite, that I needed to secure her love however I could, that affection in our family was a competition and I was losing. She said I was vulnerable after Dad died and Mom exploited that. She said Mom used financial manipulation to create a dependent relationship and that the money was never about helping me, it was about controlling me and isolating you. She said a lot of things, honestly, and some of them make sense, but I don't know if they excuse anything. Maybe understanding it isn't the same as fixing it. Maybe I can't fix it, but I'm trying. I told my husband everything. He was horrified, but he didn't leave. We're restructuring our finances so I don't need Mom's money. I told Mom I'm done and I blocked her number. She showed up at our house and I didn't let her in. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I know I don't deserve it. I just wanted you to know that I'm trying, that I see what I did now, that I understand I wasn't a victim. I was a participant. I chose the money over you. I chose it again, and I can't take that back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I read it once all the way through, then I read it again. My first instinct was to believe it, to think maybe she'd actually changed. Maybe therapy had helped her see the truth. But then I got to the part where she said Mom had exploited her vulnerability and that the money was manipulation, and I stopped. Because here's what I knew that Natalie's therapist apparently didn't. My sister wasn't just accepting payments. The notebook proved that. She was negotiating rates. She was suggesting new opportunities for exclusion and asking what Mom would pay for each one. She'd come up with the wedding boycott idea herself and negotiated it up to $15,000. She knew exactly what she was doing for 4 straight years. The therapy was just another story she was telling herself. Another way to avoid the simple truth that she'd made a choice, over and over, and she'd gotten paid well for it. She was recasting herself as a victim now, because that was easier than admitting she'd been a willing participant. An eager one, even. I closed the email. Mark came home and found me sitting at the kitchen table staring at my laptop screen. You okay? Natalie sent an email. He sat down across from me. What did it say? That she's in therapy. That she told her husband everything. That she blocked Mom. That she's trying to understand why she did it. And I think she's lying to herself. What do you mean? I turned the laptop so he could see the email. He read it, his expression getting darker as he went. She's making herself the victim, he said when he finished. Yeah, that's not what the notebook showed. No. Are you going to respond? I thought about it. I could write back. I could tell her what I really thought, that she wasn't manipulated, she was mercenary, that she wasn't vulnerable, she was opportunistic, that she didn't deserve sympathy, she deserved consequences. But what would that accomplish? No, I said. I'm not going to respond. I closed the laptop, because Natalie wasn't fighting for love. She was collecting payments. She'd negotiated her rates, suggested new betrayals, and cashed every check with full knowledge of what she was doing. And now she was in therapy, rewriting history, turning herself into a tragic figure instead of what she really was. Someone who'd sold out her sister for $200,000 and would have kept doing it if she hadn't been caught. The therapy was just another story, another performance, another way to avoid the truth. I deleted the email.